action.
Take two. All right, 9 o'clock Tuesday. What's going on here?
Well, we rolled Timothy in here, my personal van, to do the four-wheel drive conversion. We kind of decided to quit last minute because there's something coming up Saturday. We wanted to have it there and have it four-wheel drive for Saturday. So we started on it yesterday and just gonna bust our butts this week to try to get it done by Saturday. But we got the rear end out of it yesterday, and the two-wheel drive rear end out yesterday, which is a 10 bolt, and we got the four-wheel drive rear end mounted under it yesterday, which is a 14 bolt out of a 92 1-ton G30 van that we bought to part out, and we had bought a 85 four-wheel drive military truck that of course had a 14 bolt in the rear, so we took the guts out of that 14 bolt and put in this one, which makes it 456 gears with a Detroit locker. We're going to run 37-inch tires on it. And today, we hope to get the front differential up under it, and then the rest of the week's been getting shocks mounted, fabricating. We've already got the engine cradle made up.
Yeah.
The front mount for the front leaf springs and the rear mounts. So we'll probably, our goal is to try to get that in the van today, which is Tuesday. We're waiting on another leaf spring from Summit to get here, so hopefully it'll get here today, and we'll get that under there and see where we're at.
Yeah.
We'll update and go from there. We got the motor strapped in inside hanging, because once all this stuff drops out, the motor's just going to be hanging there. But we got all the bolts out of the front end, everything ready to drop the front suspension here.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to raise it up and see if it see what it does. You want to check that side of it? Everything good?
Yeah, come.
No lines catching her?
Whoa. Is it just caught that little tab?
Okay. You good?
Go ahead. Yeah, I just saw it move. Yeah, I just saw it move.
There she is, folks.
Well, there you go. Straps seem to be holding on the motor, but I'm still not going to get under there.
And that'll be going in next.
Right, John. Been rocking and rolling a little bit. How far you think along we've come so far?
We got the front mount for the front of the leaf springs mounted. We got two bolt holes here. That'll be where the bumper bolts on.
Yeah, those bumper brackets on the back.
We've got the engine cradle put in. It's mounted there. We'll have our for the rear shackles. We'll go back here like this. We'll get them mounted up for the rear shackles and chugging along.
Yeah.
Coming along. Ivan's welding the shock mounts for the rear right now. We'll have to refab mounts up here for the shocks on the front.
Yeah, because we had to. They were right there.
We got to fix the steering for the crossover steering on it. We'll get the front end mounted up on it. We'll be able to do that. And all the parts get here, we'll have it done.
Yeah, what is it? UPS, FedEx, US Mail? I don't know. Somebody's dropping the ball right now.
UPS is not getting one of those. one of our springs here. It was supposed to be here Friday. Something got messed up. They canceled that order and reordered. That one's supposed to be here today.
Yeah.
Now they said it's going to be tomorrow, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see. But we're just gonna keep doing what we know what to do. And that's just mount up all these parts we fabbed. But everything fits right where it should be.
Yeah, this is kind of like our prototype front mount that we made. We'll guess we're gonna test it on my van, and then the other ones
Yeah.
we'll make that'll be maybe a little more CNC cut
Right.
and stuff. So but, it's kind of funny. We used another van for the pattern, and this van is the same year model, everything, but the holes are just a little bit different just because of
Yeah. We take all this up.
manufacturing stuff.
Everything would bolt right into it, but we had to massage
Yeah, and it's not
and pull
because
around.
we could take this off and put it on the van we used for the pattern and bolt right to it, but just minute little differences in the holes from just where it came from the factory like that. So
Yeah. It's just a part of it, I guess.
yeah.
Still rocking and rolling. Gonna finish up this rear end shot, and I don't know. If we had leaf springs, I would say that front end would be rolled up and under here.
We got one leaf spring.
Yeah, we got one. We got one right here. Well, looks like a leaf spring under a van to me.
We got one. We're still waiting on UPS for the other one.
Yeah.
But we got the rear mounts welded in yesterday. That seems to be good to go. Ivan's fixing the pitman arm, the tie rod in for the pitman arm now. So as soon as the other leaf spring gets here, we'll get it under there, and then we'll be able to get the front differential set up under it. Start figuring out brake lines and shock mounts now for that. We're just trying to, I guess we're kind of under a crunch. We wasn't really planning on getting it in here and getting it this fast, but there's an event this weekend, Saturday, that we want to go to, so we got it in here last minute. Probably shouldn't have, and just gonna try to bust it out so we can be there Saturday. So if it looks like we're cutting corners, we're not cutting corners. We're just getting it ready for this, and we'll go back and neaten up and fix the stuff that it may look like we're cutting corners on. But we're just trying to get it ready for Saturday so we can have it there, just if nothing else, sitting there in the parking lot. So.
Right. Well, what all was involved with getting that front end ready for that particular, application with all the steering,
Pretty much, it's just a crossover steering kit that we buy off the shelf, and we modify the tie rod end to fit with the pitman arm, the stock pitman arm, because the way they're made, if you look, they're kind of like a horseshoe U shape, so they'll go around the frame when it turns. And I haven't had any luck trying to find a pitman arm to replace that with, so we just modify the tie rod end to fit with this stock pitman arm, and it works out good. The first van that we didn't know any better. We just used a straight Jeep Wagoneer pitman arm, and it worked fine, but we had to recess the frame here for clearance for it to turn to the right, and we don't want to do that no more. So we figured out a way to modify the tie rod in, and it works out pretty good.
Yeah.
But stuff like this, I know this doesn't look good with the way the brake lines are. Like I said, this is just temporary, so we can get it there Saturday, and we'll go back and neaten up all of this, and maybe even put new brake lines in.
Yeah. We're a sucker for a challenge, especially one as hard as this one. So.
And it won't be 4-wheel drive. We're still waiting to get the transmission fixed. So it'll look 4-wheel drive, but it'll still just have the 2-wheel drive stuff in it for right now, because we have the transmission and transfer case. There's just some things we got to do to it before we put it in the van.
Right, and speaking of driveline stuff, I'm surprised the stock drive shaft lines right up and it's gonna fit. In fact, you just got the joint today to make that happen.
Yeah, it'll work temporarily. It's
Yeah.
not the best scenario. It ain't something you want to do all the time, but it'll work just good enough for this weekend.
Yeah. Well, here, take me over to the front end and just real quick go over that too.
Well, it's It's pretty much a stock Dana 60 front end out from under a military truck. Everything, we've gone through the inside and fixed everything on the inside. It doesn't look pretty now, but we'll clean it up and paint it. But it's just it's a Dana 60 out of an 85 Chevrolet military truck, 456. We got a 14 volt heavy duty in the rear. I think I said that on the last video with a Detroit locker. That it's actually a van differential, but we took the stuff out of the 14 volt that come out of the military truck. So we'll eventually get, it's got the locking hubs that are on it are good, but we'll get some new, probably go with the mile marker locking hubs. We do have new brake calipers.
Yeah,
that was going on.
That was much needed.
But anyway, like I say, we're trying to get it done for Saturday. Please don't think we're cutting corners. We're just getting it moving, and we'll go back and neaten up everything later today. Luckily, this is my van, so we don't have to worry about it too much.
Yeah.
The UPS came through. We got the spring, so we're getting ready to roll it up under there and put it under and see if everything lines up like it's supposed to. Got the front end under. Everything looks good. We got a couple of things we're going to adjust. They sent the wrong studs for the front mount, so we had to put some washers on that, but that's no big deal. We'll change it. But everything, we got to fabricate the mounts for the front shocks, work out the brake lines on the front. It's riding a little high in the front, but we'll leave it like that because once the springs settle and eventually plan on putting a winch and stuff on the front, it should level it out. So we're not going to worry about it sitting a little high in the front. But yeah, everything went together good, and I think it's going to be all right. We just got to wrap it up and do a test drive and see how she does.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll update when we get done and make another video.
Just one minor detail. What was the height at the tallest point of the top?
It was 8 foot 11 inches. So I've got 1 inch to spare to go through drive-thrus.
Yeah. We still go through Burger King.
Yeah.
Well, heck yeah. Back on the ground, differential fully, I guess plugged in other words.
Yeah, we're gonna pick the battery up, see if it moves. Made a little drive shaft modification.
Yeah.
Just a tad.
Just a little bit.
That's a little bit of the destruction that happened, but